How about now? Can you all hear me now? There we go. Okay, we're working now. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Link to the Past Randomizer. We've got an open hard seat tonight for you, and I'm going to hand it off to Drossi and Czar to take us into it, because they know what they're talking about, and I don't.
Why, hello there. How are you, Ruby?
Drossi, I don't know what I'm talking about when we play open. What are we talking about here?
Well, I believe this mode is known as open heart surgery for the 48 heart pieces placed.
Yeah, in this weird heart item pool, we have this custom setup where you can get up to Tempered Sword. You can find silvers, but they are non-progressive bows. You can have up to 20 hearts, but there's only 3 whole heart containers to find.
I think there's like 5 heart containers in this one.
Is it 5? I feel like they change the numbers every year.
They do.
Oh no, this consistent racing pool, please. Anyway,
it's Synac's whim, is what it really is.
If you missed it, just a few nights ago, we had these two play their game 1. Very close affair between Specs and Kaesden. Trying to remember who we're calling tonight. Let's talk about this. This is game 2. We're the quarterfinals. Specs and Kaesden. Challenge Cup action winding down as we get into the summer months here in the Northern Hemisphere.
Yeah, and this is definitely the stage of the Challenge Cup by which, anyone who's left is honestly pretty scary. As we get a very quick map check, looked like Red Pendant Desert and regular crystals on Eastern and Hera.
That it did. And that means we are going to see 2 pendants in the Dark World, which could have some implications later. You're going to need all 7 crystals to climb GT and defeat Ganon.
But yes, just looking at how these runners got here, but besides the fact that they are both very good runners in their own right, Kaesden in the last round beat Magno, and Specs beat Zeke Highwind. So, neither of them had a pushover to deal with in the previous round.
We're not going to be pushing over our guards. We're going to be knocking them down with a hammer, and there's an early Ice Rod. You know what that means, Drossi.
That TR is a pendant.
Well, it could be. It means that we have an Ice Rod.
It also means that we could check the Hammer Frozen prize, if we really wanted to.
It's next level stuff right there. We will not be getting that item off of the Lumberjack, is, once again, just a little bit of pocket change, not something we're really interested in. What our runners really do want to see before hopping into Kakariko is, a bomb. Just 1 bomb to get going. You might be happier with 2, but you'll take 1 if you can. That's because Kakariko has the greatest concentration of checks in this entire mode. Of course, junk items like your smaller rupee amounts, your bombs, all that, not as likely to show up now because we have a bunch of pieces of heart in their place.
So that powder is interesting because Specs picked up the hammer, so he'll be able to check Magic Bat on his first loop through CAC.
Sure will. That could be an item that we might be... Oh, well, forget the idea of needing bombs because there's bomb money.
But Kaesden is not going to CAC.
No, and this is interesting. He might actually be going to... We're going to take this check, and I would surmise this is probably Saha's Closet. Would be
he doesn't have bombs for Saha's Closet.
Oh, he's doing south to North Kakariko. Okay, that makes sense here.
And Specs is just going in without money. Interesting.
Yes. Did Specs even try a tree pull, or is he just like, I don't need it?
I don't know, or maybe it was the wrong tier.
Oh man, 50-50. Come on, 50-50.
And there's a hook shot sitting in the CAC well, and there are bombs.
Of course.
Bail out for Specs.
All right, what do we got? Sitting on the race game, we have our first sword, and Kaesden has exactly 1 bomb.
This steed has quite the Sphere 1. Yeah, Sphere 1.
Yeah, Sphere 1. That, you're going to spend this bomb on the sword, and you're going to be happy that you did. There is a 50-50 Kaesden can go with on his way if he wants to test his luck on the Oh, nice lamp.
This is getting ridiculous.
It's just free. You just go into Kakariko and the game's like, never mind the drama. You've got money, you've got bombs, you've got items, let's go.
You've even gotten a real-life heart container.
Oh, no. Let's talk about something else, shall we?
Will we be in go mode by the time we finish CAC?
Probably not. Again, these two, this is their game 2 in a best of 3 series. Kaesden had won the game that they played the other night in standard boots, which, again, if you haven't seen that one, give that a look, because that was definitely, not only was it a race to just kind of shake your head about, but you have Kaesden's teammates from the Randomizer League calling that one and kind of razzing them all night. So, no, they gave it to Specs too.
Okay, this is interesting. With that Moon Pearl, we are now Glove from regular Dark World Access. We are also Cape or Master Sword from Aga Dark World Access.
We're also a flute from the mountain being available. Like, the entire Light Mountain is just available now. If we get a
or a glove from it being available, but that would also give us Dark World.
Get a glove, you're probably not going up to Tower Hera. You might push the mountain out until you see Mitz.
Well, here's the magic back check. Watch this be a glove.
I will feel so bad. Drosy.
I mean, the game was telegraphing it with the hammer and everything.
Stop it. You want drama at 5 minutes in? Here it is.
Now, okay, I was wondering if Specs would, like, really go Papega and just go straight to the CAC portal, but he will get his sword here.
I mean, you finish the CAC checks while you're in CAC, right? You kind of have to. Now, here's the thing with this for Kaesden. He's not going to have his hammer anytime soon.
Yeah, just for later rivals, hammer was on Uncle.
Yeah. He might go to Hyrule Castle now that he has a sword, but South Shore's still a better play, like, in terms of density and time.
Yeah, too bad we don't have a mirror. You could combo South Shore with Hype Cave.
I mean, yeah, Specs could, but
right.
Kaesden cannot. Oh, a little muscle memory of just kind of swinging the sword you don't have to get
right.
I love it.
You don't have it, you're going there to get it.
Just send it backwards in time from this moment. You'll have gotten here faster.
Okay, so Specs is not doing CAC Portal, presumably. Oh, he is doing a Sank Start. Oh, back
do back of escape here, probably. Could also go up the mountain if he really wanted to right now. There's a lot open to our runners once we get all these items.
With the lamp, if you get the key in the back of escape, you go to Dark Cross.
Oh, absolutely, because then you're only making your run to Zelda Cell, if you're even going there at all.
What was in Sank Chest? I already forgot.
I believe it was the map to Hyrule Castle.
Oh, okay, so the map's already accounted for, and there's the small key, so everything else is items.
Oh, Kaesden going for the clip and not getting there?
Bex, you know Dark Cross is an item and you skipped it?
That's a choice, honestly. I'm a little confused. He's not thinking about going Dark Cross from the back. I can understand why not. But
I mean, it's unusual to have it fully in logic like this and know it's an item and everything.
In some other modes, that'd be considered a gotcha. Like, that's a cross keys gotcha for sure. Okay, well, we get Mini Moldrum Cave from Specs before we get it from Kaesden. Let's see if there's anything else to excite us here. Possibly something Kaesden might need to see to... Like, well, I'm running out of items.
And as Specs keeps getting bodied, it is useful to remember there are no mail upgrades in this mode.
We'll be sitting on green mail the entire night here. Normally, when you consider hard item pool, you think it's, Tempered Sword, green mail, 14 hearts. The Challenge Cup and main tournament are running with a customized hard item pool. Hence the 48 pieces of heart and the non-progressive bows, including the option to pick up silvers somewhere if they happen to be on your path.
Additionally, there is no half magic. All bottles are placed, but once you get one, the other 3 turn into bloopies, and the one bottle is empty. So definitely cutting down on safeties in this mode, even more so than a regular hard mode.
A little bit, but also you can get up to 20 hearts, which don't get all 20 hearts, please. That means you basically full cleared the game.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen anyone get particularly close, unless you have one of those ugly, like, nearly 2-hour seeds.
We've had a couple of those, haven't we?
That Zora money, I almost expected Specs to go to Zora, but no, he's out of there as well. He's just making the skips today.
I think Specs is doing what the game's going to ask him to do right now, and Zora is the only logical flipper check. This is more than likely going to be a run up to... I would say he goes Mountain here, actually.
Yeah, I mean, the full Mountain's in Logic, and yeah, he's going for it. I was thinking, like, knowing him, like, his first Dark World play is more likely to be Hype Cave than Village of Outcasts.
I mean, right now, without even knowing what your situation is for your Dark World prizes, I wouldn't want to touch Village of Outcasts without the Fire Rod anyway.
And Hera's full clearable. And a crystal.
Yep. The thing I don't know if I'm a fan of here is that you go up the mountain once, and unless mitts are just on the mountain, you're having to come back later. Probably twice, maybe more than that.
Hopefully with the mirror.
Hopefully with the mirror. I'm pretty sure we saw Kaesden look at the absolute pile of money that was sitting on Lumberjack, and by pile of money I mean absolutely nothing. But that was Specs' first chance to have a look, and it's the only other time that he could really route it in, since he is going up the mountain this way.
Yeah, I think it was a bluebee.
So we're going to see a little more divergence here. Kaesden will still not pick up his hammer and go to Hyrule Castle. Specs is going to give us our first look at the mountain.
More money! That's the third 300, and there are only 5 of them.
Yeah, we're kind of rolling in it here, and that's good if you haven't paid, the Zora tax or the monkey tax or the I don't know.
Oh, there's the mirror sitting in Saha's closet.
That's interesting, because that doesn't necessarily help Kaesden right away, but it might be something that it takes Specs to get a little bit more time to get to.
Yeah, Sphere 1.
I don't... Shush. Alright, Kaesden will get his hammer. With a sword, I think he goes into the front of Hyrule Castle here, especially now having that mirror to get the back.
Ooh, another full heart container.
Check out this healthy seed. 6 hearts in 10 minutes or so. Call right now and we'll double the offer. Oh. Well, there's your fire rod. Okay.
Yeah. Now we can go to Boo.
Now just give me a flute to make it even all the sweeter.
So, Skullwoods and Thieves are full clearable. Hera's full clearable. I guess that's all we have at the moment that we can full clear.
Hey, we can enter dungeons like Eastern and Palace of Darkness, but we can't really do anything beyond what's right in front of us there.
Okay, floating island out of the equation.
So Kaesden's going to be the first of our 2 runners to give us our look into Hyrule Castle. Oh, there's the mitts! Oh, no!
So Specs is going to have to find that mirror.
Right, but he'll probably do Dark World first.
Yeah, I mean, exhausting Sphere 1, that would be a heck of a play.
So here's the thing with Kaesden now, though. He has the hammer that he probably figures Specs picked up early, if at all. So now Magic Bat is actually an out against him. He may be running back to Kakariko to find that. He might also be, lucky and get a flute literally right here. You don't know until you open this chest. It's just more hearts. Of course, we expected that. Could also be Dark Cross. We haven't seen the item in Dark Cross.
That's going to really bite Specs if it's something.
Yeah, that's my biggest fear right now. Kaesden's going to get funneled into picking up that glove on Magic Bat, and he's going to get mitts if he goes up the mountain.
So, Big Key, Vanilla, and Hera. I didn't see... What was in Map Chest? Did we get something?
I don't know.
Nice Hammer Moldorm strats. Just like the game wanted you to do it, right?
Yeah, the game wants you to have the hammer from your 4th dungeon before clearing the 3rd. That's how it works, right?
Well, Hera's junk.
Right, First Blood, we have a crystal in the hands of one Specs. It's just the other boomerang in Dark Cross. Oh, you know what this is? Kaesden is going to climb Castle Tower.
Oh, boy.
That's unfortunate, but could also be a blessing in disguise. Now, look at this choice here, too. We're not doing Spiral Cave.
Yeah, he's checking Spec Rock from this... Well, of course, he's Specs. He has to check Spec Rock.
It is his rock, after all. Specs Rock. All right, here comes the the Hype Cave play that you've been talking about. Well, let's see if it lives up to its former namesake. We just call it the cave that exists on the south side of Dark World now. No, we will never stop.
We're running out of hype stuff to be in it. Maybe flippers?
Flippers, flute, boots, Samaria.
Map check?
A sword, a bow, the bow.
Well, bow would be great
check?
for Specs because that would get him to the eastern area.
Did he not give us a map check?
Not that I saw.
Oh, I guess he doesn't want to know. He'll check probably right after this. Oh my goodness. 60 rupees, 10 arrows, and some pieces of heart.
He's so disgusted he's not even going to Stumpy or anything.
Normally you would want to do that with Smith Chain if you can. South Dark World Loop is considered to be a little bit slow. For some reason.
But, well, he's going here. Maybe he'll check map. Again, as we've said, he can beat Skull Woods and Thieves Town. Chances are at least one of them is a crystal, if not both.
Oh, here's what's really awkward. Kaesden is going to get his glove eventually. He has the means to actually hook across to West Dark World here. All he needs is the hammer, and he's got it.
That's probably part of why he thinks, okay, yeah. That it's like, I'm not funneled into pod if I beat Aga.
Right, but also, he's going to miss that. That's probably going to be his mitts on Magic Bat, depending on where that flute shows up.
Yeah, he would need the flute to get the other glove, though, without the first glove.
Like, the vision of what the sea could be asking him to do logically could be entirely different than what Specs has shown us.
Specs, are you going to show us a map check at any point? Or are we going to have to see it from Kaesden when he gets to the Dark World? Meanwhile, how many blue balls will Kaesden have to face before he can get out of here?
At least 2. That's Pendant, Skull Woods. I think Specs is taking a page from my book, and he's just like, well, don't overthink it. Just go to what you can clear.
Yeah, but now you definitely have less incentive to go to the back, unless it's Green Pendant. It could be Green Pendant. We don't know. He hasn't checked. There we go, it's blue. And Thieves is green. Huh.
Go figure. Actually, we're not very far from the place that shall not be named being potentially something to think about. Hopefully,
we do not speak of such things at this juncture.
Shh. Hey, you got to cater to the fans somehow, right?
And
Well,
I believe
thanks,
that
man.
was 3 blue balls.
And this is going to be Kaesden checking pyramid. This is an early pyramid check, all things considered, for a required item.
Yes, definitely required.
Yeah,
Required to beat Aga.
We need that.
That should tell Kaesden right there that this wasn't a Aga seed. But anyway, our 5-6 are Ice and Swamp. I don't think we mentioned that before.
So we are not going to see flippers at the Pyramid Fairy today.
No. That is definitely not happening. I mean, what do we need? We need the bow, we need flippers, we need the flute. We may or may not need boots depending on desert layout.
So I'm intrigued by this route by Kaesden right now. He's going straight to Hype Cave, which we know is a lie and a fairy tale today. But he's also possibly going to do the rest of South Dark World, and he has a mirror, so we can see the cave south of the Grove, too.
And Specs checking Bumper Ledge because of that early cape, but it's just vanilla. So, Green Pendant Thieves, but full clearable. Do you just do the front, or do you do the whole thing?
A Green Pendant makes me more inclined to go through the entire dungeon.
Yeah, that's the thing, especially if... Oh,
well,
wow.
Look at that.
We're doing the D.
One less thing to think about.
Yeah, and again, that could get Specs to Eastern.
And
which
to
would get him his mirror en route.
And he needs that mirror, and he knows he needs it for 2 different reasons. I could suggest not hugging the Zazacs. They do hurt.
He's very amused by just how silly that death was. We can see his cam on.
Yeah, if runners have a face cam, we get the privilege of getting to see it, even though it's cropped off your restream. You guys don't get to see how he basically did the old facepalm.jpg.
And Kaesden giving us our first look here at the dig game.
I kind of get what Kaesden might be after at this point with his choice of routing the Dark World after having defeated Aga. Is when he saves and quits with that mirror, he'll get placed right back on the pyramid anyway. But he could also take this as the moment to go mirroring in front of the... No, he's going to do the save and quit. And I thought maybe he'd go right to Magic Bat, but I am proven wrong.
And that is our one and only shield in Thieves Town, and having found 2 items, Specs is out. That makes sense. Like, if you get 0 or 1, especially with the green pendant in the back, I could see finishing it, but you'd effectively be just doing it for 3 items, and you already have so much open to you. Eastern and Pod are now obtainable crystals.
See if Kaesden decides to walk on past Graveyard Ledge. Probably not, because I would imagine he thinks the mirror is one of his only advantages right now, based on where it was and where the rest of the Dark World nonsense hasn't come into. You know, we're talking about the guy that beat me, so.
Yes.
I think he has a little more of a grasp on what's going on than I did. Oh, that's intriguing, because that's a dungeon we can clear.
Yeah, I guess it does not require a glove. Kaesden can full clear Swamp if he wants. That's crazy looking at his loadout, and oh, he can do Swamp.
Not really. I mean, the only thing he's really missing that he won't find that Specs already found was the fire rod is one thing that he might be a little bit later to, that's all. Still gonna find that bow. Still gonna find that ether medallion up on the mountain with the fire rod when he gets up there, and have the privilege of mitts when he does so too. Curiously, Kaesden deciding to walk this way to go to check the bumper. I thought he was just gonna give it a pass.
Yeah, I mean, you have the cape, it would be silly to skip it. Only Gamachu would do something like that.
So now Specs having a bow, probably gonna give us Eastern into Pod here.
Yep.
So he will get his mirror.
And then the interesting question is, once he finishes Pod, will he do, like, Pyramid Catfish and maybe wind up on Graveyard Ledge?
I'm gonna say no. Because I think he's gonna get sidetracked away by that mirror. He knows where mitts are.
Right.
He's probably more likely to find something else, like a flute or a book. Or chase the mitts up the mountain before he thinks about doing North Dark World.
Yeah, either way, you pretty well have to clear Eastern and Pod while you're here. They're both crystals.
Pretty much. And now having a mirror, you can go into Pod and the mirror back to Eastern, or you can just do one, then do the other. It doesn't really matter. It's faster to do it with the mirror, though. That way you're not coming up here, coming back down, going back up here. Kaesden getting his whole lot of nothing out of Skull Woods.
And it looks like Specs does realize the mirror is the faster route. I was about to say, is Kaesden going to do the back, and then I realized he can't.
Yeah. As of right now, Kaesden still can't even go up the mountain. So he's kind of stuck on this. He's on rails right now.
Right, but he'll get to the village, and he has the mirror, so he can get to Magic Bat, and it's just a matter of time before he finally gets that glove.
Chat, we didn't get to see the Bunny World sprite for Specs because we had a very early Moon Pearl on this seed.
Yeah, I believe it was in Chicken Hut.
So unless he's like run into a bunny beam somewhere and I just didn't see it. It's probably a Putty Patroller if I had to guess, based on the lore of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Right, going straight to the bow. Cool. And we're going to see what's in Pod here. What do you think, Andrasi? Do we have any kind of progression here?
Samaria? I don't know. I feel like Samaria's probably behind the mitts at this point.
Could be. Could be behind the flippers, though, too.
Could be nice, in which case logically behind both.
Uh-huh. And both are behind the mirror. So the question here is, when does Specky go... Or, yeah, when does... when does anyone go to Graveyard Ledge if they've already done most of North Dark World and not had the mirror?
Wow, that's 3 small keys already out of Pod. We gonna get 4? Yep.
Gee, thanks, game. Can we get all 6 in front, please?
I think I've seen that once. Let's see what Kaesden does with Green Pendant Thieves. I'm guessing he's not going to go to the back since he has all of Swamp available.
I mean, he might still be looking for a glove, is the problem here. Do you happen to remember how many items we had in the front of Thieves Town?
2.
2. And you know what? I bet you our tracker remembers that and probably wants to throw something at me because we've already mentioned it. Our tracker tonight, Scupula, hitting the buttons for you guys, making sure we know what's what.
I hope he didn't overthrow that bomb.
He
was, overthrew the bomb.
Too far.
That looks better. No? Yes, okay.
Yeah, the pegs can't change if you're in an auto stare animation. Strangely enough. And here's that magic bat play for Kaesden. He's gonna get his glove.
At the half-hour mark. Realize it wasn't an Aga seed.
Yeah, there's really nothing that you would need to have gone beaten Aga for. Which is rather unfortunate, but you know what? It got him here anyway. There's the big key sitting in the Ruby basement. See, now having that glove...
He has a lot more portals he can use.
He's probably going straight to Swamp here.
Sure looks it.
And, you know, it's kind of an advantage he doesn't realize he can press. Those flippers are in an awkward spot for basically anybody, but because of the Aga route, splitting his South and North Dark Worlds from the Pyramid, he was able to just zero in on them. The only problem with that is his Catfish is crazy isolated now.
And I'm guessing when Specs goes back to the mountain, he'll do Dark Death Mountain since, well, he'll have the mitts.
Right, and since he knows where the mitts are, I think he's much more likely to go think about picking those up than he is to go checking Graveyard Ledge at this point.
Yeah, probably true.
Whole lot of nothing in pod here.
Yeah, and I haven't been counting maps and compasses, so I don't know whether Helmet King has an item.
Well, based on the fact that that was a map, which is, you know, it tells me Specs was opening checks expecting to find the last item, I would be willing to guess. Yeah, the map was in the big chest, so yeah, we absolutely have an item on Helmet King.
And here's our first swamp check. Not the cane we're looking for.
No, but it does make Spike Cave doable, because we do not yet have a bottle.
Which is impressive, because all 4 of them are placed, so the fact that we've got none of them to this point is pretty unusual.
That is additionally another check that Kaesden can make while he's up on the mountain, too. Chat wants to know where flippers were. They're sitting in Graveyard Ledge.
I mean, what's interesting is if Samaria is on Dark Death Mountain, we could see an early TR play from Specs.
We could, in fact. And, you know, we do have full clearable access to TR at this point, provided the entry is the Ether Medallion that we've also seen on the mountain, technically under the doormat. Alright, so this is kind of awkward with only one sword. Specs opting for the bow. 8 arrows will take care of this.
I thought you had to do Phase 2 with a bow when I was a kid.
I thought you had to do Phase 1 with bombs when I was a kid.
That's because Nintendo Power told you that. I just figured I got the hammer in this dungeon, that's what we have to use for the mask. Ooh, silvers.
That's effectively a bow-locked silvers. In other modes, that's a bow-locked bow, and that's something to be happy about.
So, no progression in pod, but you're not going to say no to silvers. It'll sure make that Armos fight easy.
It's also going to make that Vitreous fight literally free when we get there.
Oh yeah, flute's another thing we still kind of need to find.
Yeah, and again, these are checks that we haven't seen the other player do on both sides of the screen here.
And notably, these checks on Spec's side are Sphere 1 still.
Yeah, we can stop talking about Sphere 1 immediately after we walk out of the compass chest here in Eastern. Because I believe that's the last Sphere 1 check we haven't seen.
I don't think we've seen a Gina yet.
We did. Kaesden split dam left.
Oh, okay. I'm assuming it was junk then.
Couple checks we might not see most runners do in a hurry here is left side of swamp.
One piece of junk.
Aha!
Word.
The S word on the left side of swamp. We're happy to see that too. Left side of swamp just a little easier with the hook. True. Very true.
Yeah, that definitely makes Argus a little easier with the Master Sword.
Again, we can get up to a Tempered Sword in this mode, so there are 4 swords out there somewhere. Okay, Big Chest is also Sphere... Well, technically it's Sphere 2, because you find the big key in a Sphere 1 location. Technically.
I remember coaching Specs through Phase 3 of Master Sword Ganon. It was interesting. That was always the phase that got him.
Are we skipping the big key chest specs?
Apparently. How many items do we have?
I don't know, because he opened the big chest. It's kind of the spiciest of gambles here.
Now I feel bad that I wasn't counting. I mean, I was watching Swamp. Swamp's more interesting.
I mean, Swamp has a lot more items in it. We do know there's at least 1 item left. We don't know if it's on the boss or if it's going to be sitting in the big chest in case we'll have to walk back in. Oh, just missing that last night there. Okay. Never punished, Specs. Never punished.
And that is 3 crystals for Specs, as Kaesden is about to get his first. His major advantages are Flippers and Master Sword at this point. Specs' major advantages are basically everything else.
Yeah, and Specs going up the mountain here. Makes perfect sense. Gonna get those mitts. Nice ice rod kill.
Took a bit of running around, but Kaesden got it.
Always love that ice rod kill. And there's the Sank Heart, too.
Yep, gotta have Sank Heart in there, even with the limited number of heart containers.
Okie dokie. And we have mitts in the hands of Specs. Kaesden, where are you going? Oh, Kaesden's gonna make the flipper checks. Ooh. Those mitts are on Specs Rock. Spectacle Rock. Giggle.
Specs Rock.
Specs Rock. So call it from now on. It's his. Belongs to him now. Correct. On top of Spec Rock. Instead of the cave inside Spec Rock.
On top of old Spec Rock.
TR. You're going to sing here because you're not allowed to sing there, aren't you?
All covered with mitts.
Was it like...
I lost my true Triforce when somebody spits.
Drosy?
Yes?
Please do not quit your day job.
There's our bottle!
And there's a... Oh my gosh! There's a sword for Kaesden.
So he's now a tempered.
So Kaesden is not going to see another sword. If he does, it will be a green 20.
Yes, it's interesting that it's the only thing that overflows to green 20s.
Well, the other items aren't placed.
But, yeah, intriguing that we can get into TR, but still no sign of the cane.
You know where I think the cane might be?
Spiral Cave?
Ice Palace.
Yes, there's that.
Might still see Spiral Cave right here, right now. I think we will. But now it weighs Spiral Cave against Spike Cave. Come on, man. Yeah, Fire Rod and Ether were next to each other in the Paradox 5.
Flute would be really nice. Or boots, or something that gets us around the map faster. This has been a lot of walking for both runners.
Whole lot of nothing out of Spiral, too. You know, Spiral Cave that doesn't actually exist. So I'm told. So now having mitts, we are...
Smith chain?
Sick kid into Smith chain. I think that's what you're doing if you're coming down here.
But we really want to find that flute. And Samaria. But really the flute.
The only other thing I might be worried about is going back into Thieves Town here, but that appears to not be on the agenda, which is good.
Maybe the fourth sword's in there.
Just think about the locations where those two swords were for a moment. One of them is on left side swamp. The other one is at the man under the bridge, behind the flippers that we might take a while to get back to. And it's yet to be seen if he even goes for that, even if he does flipper checks.
Yes, it is conceivable that Specs winds up in a sword hunt.
Or at the very least finding the fourth sword and calling that his MS Go.
At least she's got silvers.
Yeah, silvers do make everything better.
I thought Bacony Bacos made every bite better. I think I've angered my co-com.
You didn't anger him, you completely lost him. I have no idea what you're talking about. The boots! The boots are on the Smiths!
Kaesden may not get those.
Oh, it might be a bit before he gets those. Oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, we were hearing Yoshi's Island from Specs Audio, and it's like, oh my gosh, there's the cane!
Wow.
You're no minus flute right now. The only thing we don't know where it is the flute.
And we may need another medallion for Meyer, but at this point, it wouldn't surprise me if Meyer's Ether.
I mean, it could also just be under the doormat if we get the flute first.
Anyway, boots are really nice because now you know as soon as you can enter desert, you can full clear it. Now, what would be really silly is Flute and Purple Chest.
Oh god, that would be disgusting.
So, we do have a forced double climb of the mountain because you have to go up the mountain to get the mitts before you can go back down to get Samaria before you can go back up to TR.
So it's a triple climb.
Well,
because you also have to probably go back up the mountain to get to GT.
if you can put off TR until the very end.
We see boots checks now from Specs, which this is kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, just...
Because he's going to isolate and effectively orphan Graveyard Ledge.
Yep. I mean, it can still be comboed with Catfish. At the same time, he can afford to waste a little bit of time just because the boots get you around the map so much faster.
And again, might be a little bit before Kaesden gets those boots because he hasn't even finished Pod yet. Still has to do Eastern, and doesn't know the mitts are just waiting for him on the mountain. Chad, I don't have to imagine something like that. I've tried fake flippering with real flippers many, many times before.
It works 100% of the time.
Yeah, it's somehow surprisingly effective.
Oh, and Specs is going straight for TR.
Yeah, this is reasonable based on what he knows.
Yeah, full clearable in logic.
I mean, that Kane really just kind of forces his hand here.
And at least TR, isn't a very go-modable dungeon.
Right, because you're gonna have to go through the motions pretty much every single time you go in. Likelihood is that the flute's just in TR. I don't know. Oh, I know why Specs doesn't go for Ice Palace, but I don't know why. Never mind. I have no idea where I'm going with this.
If the flute's there, then he risks going into Mire, which is dangerous for Specs because he might not be able to count to 2. I've seen this happen. He got 2 items out of Mire and then went back in for whatever it was, which wound up being the compass, of course.
Yeah, you can count to 5 or 6, but you can't count to 2.
Right.
Please explain.
Meanwhile, Kaesden has gotten his silver hours and second crystal. Sorry, Specs, if you're listening to this back, I have to tell some embarrassing stories about your early playing days.
Just remember, counting to 10 is impossible. Just remember, counting with cross product is there for a reason. Anyway, we get Turtle Rock's first couple checks here. One of these has to be a key. There's one. First item is just $50. Got it.
I don't think one of them had to be a key. We haven't been to Compass Room yet.
Well, one of the front 3 checks has to be a key. Has to.
Yes, absolutely.
And there's your big key, so... Well, we'll probably see big key chests anyway.
From Specs, absolutely. The question is, will Kaesden be able to later go mode this?
And another key, because it had to be. Actually, if Kaesden's going to get his cane, I would say he'll probably end up with the boots too.
Right. I was just thinking that. I would be shocked if he doesn't get the boots, but it could still be a very long time.
I mean, we're only 48 minutes in. How much longer do you think it would be? What else can he do after he goes up the mountain, finds his mitts, clears the mountain, goes, I can't do anything but Ice Palace now. And eventually he's going to have to do Smith Chain.
Yeah, that's going to take another 10
the
plus
bunny
minutes.
We were talking about this earlier in chat. The bunny sprite is alpha.
Oh, and Kaesden's doing the big key chest.
No, why didn't I remember that? Kaesden is doing this big key chest. If I recall correctly, this was a 50-50. And the item is, in fact, on Armos.
Don't say Armos, Twitch will get mad.
Yeah, the way Specs is looking at it right now, he's at least -3, so he is going to go ahead and mirror here. And get everything. There's no reason to ever skip everything in TR. Coming back is a pain.
Yeah. No, this is very clearly a time you full clear, and so Kaesden might be able to save a minute or two skipping this.
I'd say it really kind of depends on where everything else just kind of shows up.
Right, if the flute's on Laser Bridge, as it sometimes tends to hang out, that's actually kind of bad for Specs because it could be Kaesden's go mode. And so then he'd go mode Meyer, wouldn't be tempted by Desert.
See, and Specs can go do Ice Palace. All he has to do is fake flipper into it.
Right, he just knows that the flippers won't be in there.
Exactly. So then you're kind of leaving yourself down to a point where if the flute doesn't show up, then you're funneled to Graveyard Ledge eventually. But you also still have an item on the back of Skull Woods, and the Fire Rod was relatively early. 2 items at a green pendant in Thieves Town, and the hammer was the first thing you got. So there are moments where the seed just kind of makes you think about it.
This was an interesting seed with, so much up front and then some very interesting item placements.
Okay, so remembering that he has yet to do the Back of Escape at 51 minutes in.
Which was junk. Requisite key on Laser Bridge.
Hey, now you can see the layout of the dungeon that you just went all the way through. Hey, now you can find the boss that you're about to go encounter.
That could be interesting if Meyer is Bombos.
Why are we safety dooring?
Because...
Hmm.
He's just afraid at 11
No,
hearts?
he has 1 sword. And he has an empty bottle. So if you run out of magic, you take the death, come back safety door, and you just come back and try again.
Yeah, well, I hope at this point his Hammer Trinex is on point.
Only one way to find out.
Yeah. Oh, and chat also reminding us for, magic budgeting, having Bombos could be nice to then give you Fire Rod shots against Cold Stare. Especially if Specs is still on a very low sword.
He's going for the backdoor hammer strat there. Gets one of them, but the other one, of course, gets away because you can't hit the hammer as fast as you can swing a sword. And we continue to just kind of hammer away at this ice head. No frozen floor, which is nice.
Yeah, that was a very slow ice head. Oh, and Kaesden's about to make a startling discovery.
Just 5 more hits here, and Specs will have conquered Turtle Rock. There it is.
Crystal number 4.
Trinex, what you got? A little bit of love. Okay.
So Bombos was really the only thing of interest in here.
And it's yet to be decided whether or not you actually need that Bombos medallion. It is going to be nice for, really tough pinches if you're low HP in a room, or you end up with a fight against Cold Stare that you're not really that interested in.
Ooh, this is the Spike Cave play.
It is, because he has nothing else left on the mountain after this.
Right. And we can more or less cheese it with 11 hearts. I mean, we'll need to use the cape a bit, but...
Right. But we're not going to be, biting our nails and hoping and praying that the cape is enough to get us through. We have plenty of HP.
So I believe there is an item in the Hera Big Chest. And
there is.
the
and
big
we
key is vanilla.
You know what? Kaesden thought about it. He was about to set up
it.
the Raiden pot, and he is going to get that big key. The quiet lull. So for a moment, Specs thought about checking. He wanted to go to Ice Palace, and he in fact still wants to go to Ice Palace here. At least I think that's what he's after. Oh, he's going to Dark World.
Yeah. Is this going to be a pyramid play?
This could be Pyramid to Catfish. I mean, that will be the first time we saw Catfish tonight. I honestly don't know what else it would be. He would have to hook over away from Catfish to Graveyard Ledge.
I imagine he'll grab the bug net.
What, for the memes?
Yes.
Oh, he hasn't done the Front of Escape, has he?
No. But Front of Escape is dead to him.
Yeah, apparently so. He is decidedly not interested. I didn't see anything of value inside Hera's Big Chest, or we'd be
now
screaming loudly at chat right now.
I was wondering if he'd duck over to Graveyard Ledge and then turn jump back, but no, he's going straight to Catfish, which means probably also Zora. Nope. Getting a potion.
You do that now, it makes perfect sense. You're in the area, so you might as well grab your blue now. Oh, we're going to reload our magic, too. Which also makes sense.
And Kaesden now has his 4th crystal. We're actually even on the crystal count. Though the runners have taken very different routes.
Yeah, Specs does have a much longer dungeon cleared in Turtle Rock, as Go Mode Swamp is arguably one of the fastest ways to get a crystal in this game. Oh, we're going straight to Kaesden. Kaesden. I think you do Spike Keeve on your way out here, buddy. You've already defeated Aga. You're going to end up on the pyramid.
Oh, that's nasty. I didn't even think about that.
It's just a minor time loss. It's not that big a deal. And for all I know, he could be actually trying to run back out. Nope, he's going to squirrel here. Okay. Enjoy your trip.
Guess he's not getting the fire rod for a bit.
No, he will go back up the mountain. He just has to remember to mirror and save and quit first. It's just a little awkward and silly. Alright, so King Zora. Scam as always?
And what does Specs do from here? He's really running out of stuff.
Again, you might start desperation diving back into your pendants, is what I thought was probably going to happen. Or, you get 20% back.
Well, given where the pendant dungeons are, if you start desperation diving pendants, that actually gets you kind of close to Graveyard Ledge. But no, he's doing Front of Escape.
Alright, I don't understand doing this now. You were just here.
I don't understand it either.
I'm starting to worry that I don't think Specs understands it either. That the chain of decisions looking for one or two items is just kind of making you wonder, where does this game want me to go? So you end up just kind of grasping at straws. All right, so Kaesden's going to pick up his Fire Rod, his Ether Medallion. And we are going to approach the 1 hour mark here, and we'll just, we have Radical Sniper pointing out in chat. Yeah, I'll kind of broach this topic a little bit too. We do have the Mentor Tournament just getting underway over at Go Mode Podcast. And every year you have a brand new set of players learning from those of us who've been around for quite some time. Specs is a younger player of this randomizer. He has become very good in a very short period of time, especially to kind of make his way here to the quarterfinals of the Challenge Cup. And the fact that some of us who have been playing at a high level, like myself, Kaesden, Magno, and any number of other players not making it into the top 128 of the main tournament, really tells you just how stacked this community has gotten over the years as a result of that mentor tournament that comes up every year. Kaesden, I believe, is a mentor tournament graduate.
Yes, I want to say 2020 or 2019. One of those years.
Yeah, alongside his teammates Leo and Radical Sniper, I believe.
2020, they're confirming. No, Radical Sniper never actually did the mentor
That's
tournament.
right. Sniper's like me. He didn't get mentored. He just kind of learned on the fly.
Yeah, or like Specs.
Leo, Jesse is absolutely your mentee.
Just because of, when in the annual cycle they started playing, and
Right.
if they got good enough before the mentor tournament rolled around, then they were never in it.
So that said, you got Specs, who's in his first year, and Kaesden, who's been around and actually is a mentor, I believe, or has functioned as one in the past. And we're sitting here at the quarterfinals of the Overflow tournament, if you will, for one of the most premier events that we have for the randomizer. Give these two a follow, please. There you got plenty more to show you, I promise. Is this Specs' first shot over at Agina's Cave?
Yep, I mean, he hadn't done the dam either.
Okay. Oh, he went straight to MMC, didn't he? Wow. All right, now that we're done with that whole spiel and picking on some people that we know for quite some time here, I got to pick on Drossi because for the last few years he's been going, Ruby, when are you available to commentate
Yes,
a race?
and we've finally gotten to do multiple comms together.
Wow, it took long enough, didn't it? So getting me in here was his idea, and to that I say thank you again to Scupula for coming in here backing us up on the tracker. And without Tumble Talk, we wouldn't be here at all because he is our restreamer tonight, giving us this wonderful Link to the Past randomizer content that we know y'all know and love. And guess what? We got even more coming up in just a week or two. As these tournaments wind down, we'll be seeing the Cross Keys tournament get started here over on Zelda Speedruns.
Okay, so this is Specs doing Back of Thieves. We did discuss that he'd start dipping pendants.
Yeah, I did feel like if you've routed around Graveyard Ledge, you're willing to say Graveyard Ledge is not the answer. It turns into your last location, and you start kind of pulling at the things that are a little bit easier to get after. And you never know, we actually might see a flute back here, which would be good and bad. Good because we need it. Bad because it's going to take him even further away from where the flippers actually are.
I wonder if Kaesden's going to do ice next.
I would have to say yes. You do ice before Smith Chain here.
Yeah, because he's already been to Village once. So those boots are Specs' big advantage at the moment, that he can afford to do a lot more than Kaesden because he can do it quicker. And there's item number 3. Oh yes, Kaesden does have the mitts. They're not on his tracker. There we go.
The silver gauntlets were just too shiny. Wait, that's the wrong randomizer. Anyway.
Yes. Silver gauntlets don't even cast lit 2 like the nice gauntlets
no,
do.
Stop it.
So what do we think? 50-50 for the small key here, and then we have to check the big chest.
And, well, there's your small key. Big chest is gonna have something.
Maybe it'll have the 4th sword. That would be kind of funny because Kaesden's never going there, but he can't get a 4th sword anyway.
Right. And that's another thing. Specs is going to need to have a sword eventually. Oh, it's the book. Oh, no.
Ooh, boy.
Oh, no. And he immediately bails out without killing Blind, so no green pendant. Oh, you know, it's... Oh, boy.
Great for Bombos. Feels Bombos, man.
I mean, going straight for Bombos to read it, and probably then going straight to Desert. I feel like if you get the book here, you go Bombos to Desert, because you want to know what's on Bombos, for sure. I'm just... where is this flute, man?
I mean, Pet is now in Logic.
You had to say it. Yeah,
yes.
Mad at me for saying it an hour ago, and now you're telling us.
Well, now it's in Logic, so I can say it.
Well, all it needed to be in Logic was someone to be willing to go into Thieves Town.
Thieves Town Big Chest, because of course.
You know, we still haven't seen the flute anywhere. Oh, see, now you've got him started. Chat, if you think flute's on pedestal, good luck.
Flute and Desert would actually be really good for Specs, because it'll be a long time before Kaesden gets that book.
Yeah, but then he's going to look everywhere still for the flippers.
Oh, yeah. True.
Granted, he doesn't really have anywhere else to look after Desert Mire.
Did we get both items out of Skullwoods?
I believe we only saw one.
That's what I seem to recall.
There is the 4th sword in Ice Palace's big key chest.
Okay, Specs should get that.
Oh, that's for some reason he ends up go-moding Ice Palace. But he won't be go-moding Ice Palace without looking for a sword.
Have we gotten 0 items out of Desert so far? I think so.
I thought we had an item we had a piece of heart in the map chest.
Oh, right, we did.
So
sorry,
he's
the
poking around
48
for one more.
pieces of heart, I just kind of mentally file them as not an item.
The last item is on Landmo.
It could be the flute. I haven't been tracking how many items Kaesden's gotten out of Ice so far.
Yeah, I'm not too sure either. I know we saw the green 20 that was sitting in the big key chest.
Our tracker says 2, so that's the 3rd, so it's not an Ice.
It's not Ice. If it's not Ice, where is it? It's got to be somewhere that Specs is going then. What else haven't we seen?
So, our choices then are Landmo, the last item in Skullwoods, Green Pendant, or Ped.
Or Pyramid Fairy, chat's pointing out loudly and clearly. This is the other 5/6.
That is in Logic.
This is the other 5/6 right here, right now. And Kaesden doesn't have to do anything too fancy to turn in Pyramid Fairy.
Oh, right, and Kaesden still doesn't have Samaria, so that's made his routing... Right, he did the Ice Palace bomb jump and everything. But given his lack of a small key, I'm guessing there's a key on Cold Stare. Though he did skip a couple of things after he got the third item.
It's not Landmo. Saying tablets, I mean, given the fact that, oh wow, all 3 swords are flippers locked?
They do seem to be that way.
That is the problem for Specs. If something's on a tablet, he might be able to read it and not know where his swords are. The other tablet he has is Ether. He may... Now he's going to go back. I would say, you know, if he goes back into Thieves Town here...
Just for the green pendant?
Like, I don't know why you leave on the book. That is a decision.
Yeah, that was a little bit surprising, because you already have Blindette following you. But, you know, if he's in this area, he's running out of stuff besides Graveyard Ledge. I mean, I guess at this point you do the back of Skull Woods and check Ped.
Probably.
Tell you, he's not looking happy.
Yeah, at this point, you're sitting on one sword. You don't know where your flippers are. You don't know where your flute is, and you're running out of places to go. And it's getting into the hour 10, hour 20 mark. This is usually where you might hit go mode. Even in a mode like Open Hard, this is where you're probably feeling like you're ahead or behind, and this is definitely Specky feeling like he's behind. And Kaesden's going to do this Pyramid Fairy, and then he's going to have nothing left then to do the Smith Chain, I think.
So what do you do first? Check Ped or do the back of Skull Woods? I guess do the back of Skull Woods.
I mean, you would kind of have to, I think. Specs is going to do the back of Skull Woods because he knows there's an item here for sure. And then there's no guarantee that you need the item on pedestal.
And there's the item.
So now you get the item, you mirror, you read pedestal. If the item that you're looking for is on the pedestal, then you go kill Mothula. It's money.
And he's... Oh, I was gonna... Yeah, he's running out, so this might be Graveyard Ledge.
Not there. No. Is it the green pendant, Rossi?
It's got to be either Graveyard Ledge or Green Pendant.
Or it's on Ether.
Well, no, I'm saying what Specs is about to do.
Oh, no. I'm saying it's not in Pyramid Fairy, so does it have to be the green pendant? Where is our flute?
Green Pendant or Ether, what else do we have? I'm surprised Kaesden did not mirror bonk there. That was actually kind of impressive. But then he can't get back into the portal.
Right, that's why I'm like, oh my god. Did we see Bumper Ledge? Yes, Bumper Ledge was not worth remembering.
Okay, Graveyard Ledge check incoming.
Alright, Specs about to learn how to swim. Kaesden about to go to the Dark World to visit. Yeah, yes. Lumberjack was checked by both players. It's $5. We're listing the only things we got left. At the green pendant turn in, you got the Ether tablet. And Ether tablet's bad for Kaesden.
Yeah, because, like, I'm sure back of Pendant Thieves is pretty low on his list.
It might be what he does right now, though, too.
So now Specs is likely Flute from Go mode, so how's he gonna route this?
Specs is going to do Swamp into Ice.
Right, but how many skips is he gonna make? Do you do left side Swamp one item from Go mode?
He's 2 items from Go mode, Drossi, because he also needs a sword.
Yeah, but you don't do left side Swamp for a sword.
Maybe you don't.
Oh, yeah, Specs, you need to pull the dam first. Okay, so here's Kaesden picking up the smith. He will get his boots at an hour 14 or so.
Listen, I would do left side swamp for a Klondike bar.
I wouldn't. Maybe I would. I don't know. Klondike bars are overrated.
Oh, okay, thank you. I was just going for the meme. So we're going to get Arcane first. Oh.
Oh, at that point, does Kaesden ditch Smith? to do
I
PR?
hope not.
Given some of the questionable decisions both of these runners have made.
I mean, playing open is a questionable thing to begin with. No, Chad, I was more of like the strawberry shortcake bar from Good Humor kind of guy growing up, so I will stand by that. All right, Kaesden knows he's still looking for one item at the bare minimum himself, so he's going to go ahead and turn in Smiths, and he's going to get some Go Fast shoes.
Not bothering with the purple chest.
Yeah, this has to be TR for Kaesden.
Yeah. Specs will have a much faster time of ice between boots and icebreaker. So we'll see who gets to 6 crystals first, and then we have a flute hunt.
I mean, to be fair, we already have a flute hunt. Between our two players, we're a flute from no mode, and we've seen everything but 2 checks in the and you know, with that, Specs still didn't last locate the flippers.
Yep, we still have green pendant and ether.
Hello there in chat if you're just joining us. We are playing Open Hard tonight. This is game 2 between Kaesden and Specs. Specs is down a game, needs to win tonight's game to have a shot at a game 3. If Kaesden wins this game, he moves on to the semifinals, where I am trying to remember who he's got in his future in that case, or who these gentlemen have to
hold on, I have it up.
Oh, okay. I forgot to open challenge earlier.
The winner of Darkened Sky and Yukikaze, also good runners.
Oh yeah, very, very good set there.
Darkened Sky being Spleeby's kid brother.
And like Spleeby, very good at this game. I just green pendant or ether. I don't know if I like either of those options for either of these.
Do you like
players.
either of them?
Shush. Honestly, I do believe Specs still has a slight advantage here. As long as he picks up a sword.
I can't see him not getting the sword out of ice.
Yeah,
he might be stuck on Master Sword, but he's gonna get that sword in ice. And honestly, since he still won't be in Go mode, Hobo would kind of be the logical check coming out of ice. Also, having silvers for Argus is nice.
Oh no. So, twice?
How? Because
3
he's so
times.
busy spinning.
Yeah, you don't want to release your spin until he's already exploding. Once I can see. 3 times. You know that Igor in the back of Eastern?
Yeah.
If you hit him with sword beams while he's getting hit with the arrow, it takes the sword beams and nullifies the damage.
Right.
Yeah, we just saw that on Argus. A sword spin removing the silver damage just would have killed.
Okay, Specs skipping left side swamp. This is fine. I'm convinced. Oh, right, he needs to be in the light world to then portal to ice.
It's okay, because... Oh no. Tomal, one of the swords is right here in Ice Palace. It's in the big key chest.
Yeah, and then I fully expect Hobo will be his next play when he still doesn't have Flute.
Right, so he'll end up with Tempered. It just oh my gosh, that is one lavender-looking Ice Palace.
Isn't Palette Swap great?
Sometimes the ice looks good. It's just bright. It's so bright. Palette Swap becoming a main role mode on the website and becoming something that we deem race legal because it's it's not as
It's not as egregious as Specky Clip.
we're going to start calling that Specs Clip.
Well, he approved of the name Specky Clip.
That's fair. So I guess I don't know. If you've ever played, Berserkers Multi-World, Archipelago, even Bontas, I think, had a palette shuffle that there are settings for the palette shuffle that can really, really make your eyes bleed. All right, that is go -1 for Specs.
Right, now he is just looking for that Flute. And of course, it could be behind Ether Tablet or Green Pendant. We still haven't seen Shovel or Mushroom yet. And our restreamer reminding us that Meyer could always be Quake. In which case, Quake is in Meyer's shed, I guarantee it.
Yeah, we do need the Flute to get to Meyer. That's kind of why we're looking for the Flute. And to this point, again, the only things we haven't seen one of our two players do is we haven't seen the blind fight to turn in Green Pendant, and we haven't gone up the mountain to read the Ether Tablet. Of course, that book is also in Thieves Town.
And I believe if Specs was counting, he knows that he... Okay, he wasn't counting. Oh, no, okay, sorry, I got the
Are you sure? I think
sorry,
you
I got the items out of order. I can't count.
The ice broke, remember?
Yes. Then what's he going for now? Oh, stealing the small key, right, because he has to go down the other way.
I mean, yes. Oh, because he didn't flip the switch. No, he did, yeah, so... And there was a key on Cold Stair, right? This was Samaria locked anyway?
I believe so. But we all know my memory's shit.
All these dungeon clears and we ain't found a damn thing but this book. No. I read it and I can't read it. You gotta use the book on the tablet to read the tablet.
And now it definitely helps that Specs has Bombos because he wouldn't have enough magic with Fire Rod. Kaesden didn't either, but he used Sword Beams, but Specs isn't at full health.
Still worried about the Green Pendant. Oh no. Where does Kaesden go from here? He still has boots checks, right?
Right.
Pulling out that hammer to finish off Cold Stair. 6 crystals for SpeckySpecks. He still has Pure Fairy he can go do now.
Yeah, they both have a lot of stuff that isn't Green Pendant or Ether. Specs giving the thumbs down after that.
Yeah, he's got a smile on, but he's definitely like, nope, this ain't happening.
Yeah, so he's got some Flippers checks and Pyramid Fairy. Oh, he's skipping Hobo. Oh, but he could come back and do Hobo because...
He'll do the Man Under the Bridge with the Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, he's already done Zora. Oh yeah, have you seen runners take the big red bomb under the bridge? It's like they're threatening the guy.
Wait, is that a thing that could happen?
Yes.
Do you think?
I have definitely seen runners show up under the bridge with the big red bomb in tow because that's how they route in the check.
Do you think? You think we might see Specs do that?
I'm not sure if he's been playing long enough to know that routing.
Yes, you can swim with the bomb. And if you've ever learned or seen someone do like the bomb dupe in the water, you could definitely swim with the bomb, but don't press A.
And I feel like that. I have this mega explosive device with me if you don't give me an item.
I'm gonna have to tell you, you need to go get that checked out. Here's the thing. So we know it's not here.
What does Specs have left after this in Hobo?
He skipped left side of swamp,
Right.
and then he's got green pendant and ether. He's done everything else.
Well, he doesn't want to go under the bridge.
He might just go into it from here.
That's an awkward routing.
And not really, because you'd have to go down across this other screen to do the mirror back anyway, so you might as well just swim.
Well, here's his tempered. And yeah, with 4 checks left, what's it gonna be? If it's green pendant, this might actually put Kaesden in a better spot if he, goes and beats blind.
I don't see a situation where Kaesden doesn't go to beat blind here.
I wouldn't have seen a situation where Specs doesn't go and beat blind, but he didn't.
You know why? Because the 4th item in Thieves' Town was a book.
Yeah, but you have blind debt in tow at that point and it's green pendant.
Drosy, do you know how hard it is to keep track of everything when you're under the gun racing?
Okay, here's the ether tablet check. This is Specs' biggest out.
Yeah, and if it's here, then this will be Specs' race to lose.
Yeah, it'll be a while before Kaesden gets to ether tablet, even with the book that he's about to get. He's probably thinking if it's left side swamp, I've lost.
All right, on one side you see a book, on the other side you see a flute! And just like that at 1:26 and 50 odd seconds, Specs is our first runner in Go mode.
Or 2/3 of Go mode.
Well, I mean, where's Quake? Where could Quake possibly be, Drosy?
Miner Shed.
Checkerboard Cave.
Green pendant turn in.
Shush you. Jay and LOL, if you're still here, do you think Kaesden would run to Green Pendant before he does any boots or book checks here?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's Kaesden's big out if it's on Green Pendant.
And Leo is telling me he is more inclined to run to turn in Green Pendant before anything else. And you know what? If Green Pendant's Quake, then, gosh, I don't know.
I mean, the seed's been pretty Pepega already.
Purple to Desert. He did skip Purple. We're gonna have to
that's true.
Though.
Yeah, so
it's just,
so the
no
desert
way.
play for him is 4 items: Purple Chest, Bombos, and 2 in Desert. And I'm not sure if he even checked the ledge, so maybe 5.
It is Bombo. Specs is in Go. He is going straight for it. Now, it's not over till it's over. Well, no. He does have temper. Does he? Yeah, he is tempered. We are dead even. I swear we saw him pick up tempered. How could he not have tempered? So we get the Meyer big key to be where exactly? It could still be kind of halfway to the God Meyer. We don't just roll a die, right? All right, 2 keys, so probably not.
Oh, are we playing the Guess the Meyer Big Key game?
I mean, Specs. Oh, he's gonna just burn this blue potion. That's fair.
He has the flute, he can refill it easily enough
Right.
before going up the mountain.
And you might not even need it, to be completely honest here, with tempered and silvers. So we've seen 2 keys in the first 2 checks of Meyer, and we haven't seen anything since that.
I'm a bit surprised he's going for this before lobby chest, at least. Yes, race game was the first sword.
Yes, I just call that early, because does it really matter where it was if you got it under 10 minutes?
Well, then you spawned a whole discussion in chat.
I don't feel bad about this.
Of course it's not the big... I mean, it was a 1 in 3 at that point. Like, at least do lobby chest and make it a 1 in 2 before you go there.
Spoilers, Meyer Big Key are behind Ridley. It's
I
right
thought
here.
Spring Ball are behind Ridley.
It's not here. It's in the map chest.
Of course it's in the map
Maximum
chest.
punish. Never punish, but maximum punish. Now, why would you use your cape over... I mean, I guess you have a free magic refill coming up anyway. But why would you use your cape over just setting a Samaria block down?
Maybe he doesn't know that strat.
I mean, you also only get so many hits with the Samaria block from the Fire Stink before it just dissipates anyway. Kaesden making his way up to the Landmo fight. Landmo, of course, didn't have anything happy for us. I believe it was a big 20. And then he's... You know, he might still go to the back of Skull Woods, get his item, and then check pet. But he might still go to Green Pendant, too.
Right. We'll finally find out what's on the Green Pendant. It could be Quake, we just don't need Quake.
It could be... What else haven't we seen? It could be the... Oh, God, it could be the shovel. It could be the mushroom. It's probably just 3 bombs, but, you know.
It's interesting. There are no safeties we can get that we don't already have, given this mode.
No, I would rather not do a fetch quest, please. Thank you. All right, we got those silvers off Helma, and we're going to put them to good use here by immediately destroying Vitreous. Everything about this fight, 1 shot, 1 kill, until you get to the big eyeball. Then you need twice as much blinding power.
And now Kaesden's doing the Green Pendant turn, and we will finally learn what Saha's been sitting on for an hour and a half.
Get to see what egg he's hatched. By the way, while we're getting this check from Kaesden, we're going to get 22 checks from Specs.
If
Which
he
of
doesn't
those?
deadrock himself out of being able to go up the mountain.
Shush you. Which of those 20... Just turning it into a slide.
Revenge is sweet!
Which one of those 22 checks do you think contains the big key of Evil's Bane? Wait, no, the big key of Evil Tower. The big tower of Evil's Evil? Question mark. Green Pendant was a big 20. Or as one of my friends used to say, wow, $20. Oh, this is catfish for Kaesden. Oh, no.
I mean, either tablet is not exactly an obvious check.
No. And, you know, at some points, you feel like catfish is that much of a potential risk to have skipped for long.
By the way, I believe Specs rolled the seed, in case any of you are wondering.
I thought we all blame the seed rollers always. Like, we have direct power and responsibility over what the randomizer generates when we play.
With
any
great power
mode.
comes great responsibility.
Yes, and everyone has the power to make their own randomizer seed using a number of different settings, including these tournament presets that we ran here at the main tournament and Challenge Cup this year, by going to our website at ALttPR.com. I made that sound way too much like a PBS something. All right, as Specs starts looking at things, we'll just do a quick recap here. Specs went to the man that they, you know, they call him your uncle. You literally see him once, and then he's gone forever. He gives us a hammer. Then we get a powder. So Specs starts off with a hammer. Kaesden starts at Sanctuary and doesn't see that hammer until after he's through Kakariko. Magic Bat gave us our first glove. That is why Kaesden did Agate. Because when he was in the area, he could clear Castle Tower instead of going back looking at one or two checks for a glove. Alright, 7. No big keys yet. Lots of small ones, though. Imagine leaving Ganon's Tower to find the big key of Ganon's Tower in Ganon's Tower on the mushroom that isn't in Ganon's Tower. The check is.
I mean, could happen in Keysanity.
Yeah, this is
but not in this tournament's Keysanity.
Oh no, this tournament's Fad Keys has some interesting implications, I shall say. Oh, and is Kaesden a hero? Is he going to be a hero of the masses? He's going straight for Mom. Here's Quake.
Yay! And that's 11 down.
I'm just going to point out to chat here, if you're rooting for someone to meme intentionally in a tournament race, it's not a daily race. We're not doing this. These guys are actually trying to win. They're not going to leave GT to check the mushroom to see if their 5th sword is on mushroom. They got what they need to clear the game, and they're going to go. So, okay, shoutouts to Red Boomerang team. Anyone out there on Team Red Boomerang with me?
I'm not Team Red Boomerang.
Well, then you can.
You just have to be careful with the best meringue.
No. Oh no. Tesora's against me. Drassi's against me. Thank you,
great.
Jesse.
Dark Link turns into Zelda 1 Link as his bunny sprite.
So I'm going to give props where props is due there. Team Samaria is an answer we're getting for red versus blue boomerangs. And I am all for Team Samaria on left side GT.
That's what I used.
Kaesden.
Well, actually, I think I used bombs.
Oh, I know.
Oh, that he just read ped and
He
then didn't
reads
pull it.
ped instead of pulling ped for chat. And you know what? That's fine. And he's going to Ether. He'll be in go mode.
Hey, Ruby, we're 17 checks in and still no big key.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. And we haven't even seen anything exciting. Like, the most we've seen out of here is maybe the Mushroom and Quake. There's nothing else to possibly want. Actually, I think our items... We have all the key items we can get, don't we? Except for the shovel. Don't have that yet. For this mode's inventory, we had only one shield placed. We are not likely to see another.
There it is.
Bob's
Anyone
chest
guess
holding
18?
out. If Adler was here, he would have.
We had 3 people guess 13. I don't know why that was quite so popular. Looks like Morguy was the closest at 16.
Closest without going over, if you like the Price is Right.
And while Specs does the climb and Kaesden activates the flute, why don't we take a look at the rest of the remaining bracket? We discussed that the winner of this matchup will play the winner of Darkened Sky versus Yukikaze. On the other side of the bracket, we have Adirondack Rick versus Alex Joss 2. They played their first match earlier today. I did not actually see what the result was. And then we have Nuts versus Mike Necopie. They are split after 2 matches, and therefore going into a third.
And that's all teeing up between now and the end of this week, Sunday, I think. With maybe a little bit of extension as needed, but typically we get our games in pretty fast. Before you know it, we'll be actually at the very end of this tournament and wondering, oh gosh, now what? There's that little period of time where you have the other major main tournaments that we have every year. You know, the league will be coming up in autumn, I'm sure. We'll hear about that. Got Cross Keys starting up next week. You know, I'm excited for that.
Should be a good tournament. 156 people signed up already.
Is it 156?
Last I checked, which was earlier today.
You mean I was the last person to sign up and I dragged my feet? What?
What?
I was number 156.
Oh.
And I waited because I wasn't sure if I was going to be ready. My departure from this Challenge Cup was not graceful, is what I will say. It was definitely not a good series with Magno for me.
I mean, Magno is a tough opponent.
Right. These guys are showing us some good stuff.
It is more to Kaesden's credit that he got by Magno than being any sort of shame for you that you didn't.
And Kaesden has been playing a little bit longer than me, probably at a higher level too. So,
and here he's, barring some crazy disaster, about to go to Game 3 against SpeckySpecks.
Yeah, and I don't know if these two have talked about when a Game 3 will potentially be. We'll have to ask them. Unless it's already on the schedule.
I didn't see it on the schedule.
Oh, so it is not. Okay. I can tell you that we do have a game coming up tomorrow that is potentially going to see a restream here at 5 o'clock Eastern Time. We have Adirondack Rick and Alex Joss will play, I believe, their second game. Pending a crew, of course. Might see some volunteers popping in to do a little mid-afternoon, late evening action. Depending on where you happen to be geographically located. Oh, nice triple.
Nice triple.
And, oh, not quite. Almost.
Hey, Kaesden got the Meyer Big Key without doing the cutscene.
See, at this point, at 140 something, with where the book and the flute were, both players are probably staring at the race route going, oh God, why are they not done yet? What have they done that they could have possibly done worse than I did?
I mean, at the same time, you have to realize, back of Pendant Thieves and then going to Ether Tablet.
It's just awful. In case it's like, oh God, I went to Aga and then this and that. It's like, oh.
Ganon will survive. As long as he knows how to love, he knows he's still alive.
Seeing as we have Bowser Jr.'s theme playing, I would say love is not on the menu tonight for the Yoshi in the Red Ranger costume here. And that is 7 crystals now in the hands of Kaesden. As of now. Oh no, silver, my one true weakness. Set up for a patient triple here. Do we get it? 1, 2. Just short, but we're done. Goodbye, Ganon.
And SpeckySpecks finishes with an official race time of 1:45:35.
Yeah, let's see those GGs in the chat, and you see Kaesden kind of just sitting back and going, yeah, let's take this to game 3 and call it good. So, guess what?
You wish this was a cross key seed. Yes, if Dazed Cloud plays this as a cross key seed, he finishes in 121. But anyway, we are joined by our runners here. GG, guys.
GG,
you survived.
Oh, what a seed this was, you two. What a seed this was.
Yeah, I'm sure we both had a really good time. I'm sure Kaesden agrees. It was just super fun. Yeah, nothing wrong with this seed at all.
Well, Kaesden's glove hunting versus your flippers hunting, and both of you with the flute.
Yeah, that flute was rough. If I didn't almost oslocate the flippers, I still would have ended up oslocating the flute. So when I found that flute, I'm like, okay, I have a shot of actually winning now. Before that, I felt like I had no shot. I was way behind. Those flippers felt as bad as they possibly could.
Yeah, and Kaesden, I guess, thoughts on Uncle? That really affected a lot of your trajectory.
Yeah, this Uncle start seed, and it's very different. So.
Oh, you did Sank start, so you didn't do Magic Bat, or you were in CAC. That makes sense. I did Uncle start, so yeah, I had the glove.
Yeah, there was no way I was ever going back for Magic Bat. I don't think. Like maybe Dip Eastern. That was kind of a 50-50, but since I already did Saha, it's like there's Eastern. I already passed on that when I got the mirror and failed, and then like going back for Magic Bat, just like I wouldn't hate it, but it just feels bad. It's so slow without boots.
Yeah, it feels like a huge rarity inefficiency. I could see myself doing the same thing going Aga if I had done a Sank start.
But I'll tell you what's slower is killing Aga.
Oh yeah. That we were wondering, it was a bad feel at the time, since you'd both actually looked at Lumberjack. You did it on your first way into Kakariko, and then Specs did it up the mountain. So we knew that with where that glove was, we were hoping you'd get a flute, so you could get the glove off of Spec Rock and eventually go into Village of Outcasts for Magic Bat, and then you see the flute end up being our go mode tonight. So
I just assume like when my fears, I didn't even consider the Magic Bat situation. On my mind, I didn't even think about that. I assumed Kaesden found the glove, but in hindsight, that situation makes sense. But I assumed he had the glove. I also assumed he probably got the mirror from Saha, which I got a lot later. So the whole time I was thinking like Kaesden got that. He got that mirror sooner. He got those mitts the first trip up the mountain. When he went to cast, he did Smith's Chain and got the boots right off the bat. And I'm just like, I don't want to follow mirror checks as much as everything. So I super lasso-cated Graveyard Ledge because the whole time I was afraid of Kaesden having that mirror way longer. And I just felt behind the whole time. It just goes to show you that sometimes your read on the situation is completely wrong.
Well,
Oh yeah,
Wow.
right. From the beginning, I do have to yell at Specs for one my eyes moment. Namely, you got you did the back of escape, you got a small key, and you didn't go to Dark Cross.
Yeah, I did not.
I was in pain.
Why? I'll just do it later with the front. It's
I mean, I
just
suppose
easy.
you did while you were busy nearly last locating your flippers.
At that point in the seed, I mean, I had just gotten, I just had, logical mountain access. I had logical dark world access. I saw it in Saha. I had all of the front of escape. I had, the entire world available to me. So Dark Cross, I'm like, that's slow. That's something I can always do later with the front of escape. That was so low on my mind at the time because the whole game had just blown open. So I was willing to take that risk.
Ruby, you got anything else for our runners? I saw you guys are discussing Game 3 for Sunday, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like it'll be Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern. That's the current plan.
Yeah,
So,
Cool.
yeah, that's what it's going to be.
well, we saw pretty much everything here in this particular scene. We saw you guys literally go round and round in circles on the standard boots the other night. So, what mode do we want to see in Game 3?
I don't know. We've each rolled. Both seeds have been trash, so
So probably time for a McBoss. I think it's time.
we'll see.
Although I'd personally prefer a Fat Keys. That would be my preference.
And just to spite everybody here, it will be Ambrosia.
It will be. That's definitely my worst mode. So hopefully not Ambrosia.
Well, then we'll have to keep our eyes open and see you guys on Sunday.
Yeah, thank you, Ruby and Jossie, for the comms. Super appreciate it. And thank you, Hamiltalk, for getting this restream together. Not sure who did tracking, but thank you. And thank everyone for watching and Kaesden for the race. Hopefully Game 3 is more fun for both of us.
Yeah, good luck to both of you in that Game 3. And those of you watching, please do give the runners a follow.
Helps if I unmute.
Oh, that's why you've been so quiet.
That would be it. Well, Spec and Kaesden, thank you for a great race. It was a good watch. Drossi and Zar, thank you both. Or how do you go by yours?
You can say Zaru or Ruvi, but please don't
Ruvi.
call me a
There we go.
Zar. I don't rule Russia.
Right? I mean, someday maybe. Thank you both for coming. Thank you to Spook for tracking and for everyone coming out to watch. I'm going to throw you guys over to Fant TV, who's doing some Majora's Mask for charity, because I can't find anything else better and I don't feel like looking any farther because it's late here. So that's what I'm going to do. So I hope everyone has a good night, and we're going to do that.